All right, I'm just gonna get right to it and start. Let's see if we can do this in 10 minutes. Let's go. The first is my planner that I did get this year. I do believe it's the Hone version. Um, I only say that because of the drawing board that's in here. So I did get this because we had a lot of projects for work that was going on, but then also I started my graduate program last year, September. So I definitely wanted to have this, but then we also had gotten an opportunity to move into a house. So this basically housed everything, and I thought that was good as both a project manager and someone who's trying to keep everything kind of flowing, both personally and in work. So I'll show you what I used it for. Um, I did kind of start out kind of like filling out these pieces of the actual planner, but I don't think that it had much value to me either way. I was just kind of like breaking it in. I didn't use this part, like the months part. I didn't think it was important. I mean, I have a phone where I can look at things like that more fastly. Like I'll try to just, pull that out or whatever the case may be. Um, that goes into 2025. That's interesting. So for example, I did get this because I do like to color code things. So in my iPad, I actually write notes from meetings in there. I feel like it's easier because I can carry it with me. Um, I don't use it for planning. I did in the past. You probably saw videos on my page that showed that, but I don't use that anymore. I might go back, but for what I have going on in my life currently, this is what I need. So I got one that has blue, red, purple, green, and then sometimes I use black. Purple was for events, blue was for friends, and then green was for self care, and then red was for work or meetings. That's how I color code things in this particular planner. But I will say that like the black, yeah, it's not listed here, but it was for notes, and it still kind of is. So I'll put this down, but I didn't really use the pencil board, but then I realized what it was for, and I mean, I mostly use it to hold my pen. So yeah, we'll kind of go through it. I did start out putting five particular priority items, but I wasn't sure. Like, I was again trying to break it in, and then I did put like a note or like a quote that I made because I had started therapy, I believe, last year. So, but you'll see that I just start putting like priority stuff, things like study or like meetings, and then I did put started to put the meetings that we were starting to have like in the beginning of the year, but I did kind of like fluff it out even more like over time. There were times we were still like at our apartment, so I did put things like the library or like things that we were getting rid of before the move, like to declutter. Things like this was a note because it's not a meeting, but it's part of work. I could put it in red, but I just wanted it to stand out. But this was like, for example, a meeting that we did have. But some of these things, like I put like therapy in here, put things like, we had like a date, like my partner and I went to go see Ghostbusters or things of that nature. And we did have like a date to see like Monkey Man, which was pretty good, we'll say. We also did babysit Ollie, which is our friend's cat fur baby. So that was pretty cool. So I just things like that. Like I just kind of want to put in here. People's birthdays I put in here. I was trying to find one that was about when we did move. So, like, I was trying to keep track of, like, oh yeah, there's our anniversary. Then there's also, what was it, that we moved into the house. Things like to get rid of once again. These aren't like really events, but just like a note. And then, yeah, we closed on the house, we took off to move, stuff like that. So, just kind of want to keep pace, like, put things in there. After we moved, I will say, like, I kind of did stop kind of utilizing it, as you'll see, because I was like, well, I mean, the bigger stuff is over. So I wasn't like too gun ho to use it, but I did start picking it back up just so I can kind of get back in the weeds of it. And to be fair, like I should have been using it for homework, which is the area that, let's see, it is the timetable, which I'll definitely use in the new one. Which, speaking of which, we'll go to that. The the notebook that I got for this year, it is bigger. I also got the Fox version because it really just kind of spoke to me. Um, Not all non-binary people identify with being like a fox, but for me, like it did kind of resonate, like as someone who is non-binary. But this one is bigger and it has the hardcover, and it still has the drawing or the writing board, so that's nice. So I'm gonna put my pen there. But because I am in graduate school, I felt like this would be great to use because my final class would be me writing 5 chapters at the end of it. So I wanted to keep better pace of my graduate studies, but also class, in terms of like assessments that I'm currently doing or going into the new year. I can also put things like financial aids, like when it goes off and stuff like that. I was also going to do things like track, my finances in terms of like when things are paid and when things are being paid off. So I might do this in the weeks because it has a weeks version in this particular one, unlike the other one. But yeah, I do like the novelty stuff. I do like that, and I like how it's bigger, so I'll be able to track more projects from work, more personal items, and of course my graduate studies. So, but I also got this, so it's like a pencil stencil. So I'm going to use this with the new Hobonichi planner. Now, I'm not any by means like a Hobonichi like fan person, but I do like Japanese culture and stuff of that nature. So I kind of just lucked up on this because we do have a Japanese bookstore near us. This particular one though was not at the Japanese bookstore or the stencil, so I did have to order these from the actual website because Amazon didn't have certain things, so I was trying to buy in bulk. But actually, that brings me to my next point of what I was using journaling wise. But I had gotten finally a 5-year journal. I should have gotten it during quarantine because I felt like that was probably the most pinnacle point that I would track something on a daily basis. Like I still use day one. I even put my old journals into day one. Like I scanned it as part of my decluttering before I moved to the house. And I also do like a shared journal with my partner. So if you want to know about that, you can ask, and I'll do a video about that in the comments below. Just let me know. However, I wanted to use this specific one to um, kind of track a different way, just have something more handy because we do have like a trip going on next year that I did want to take this on. And honestly, I just thought that it would be nicer because now you can see each year per day, like what happened. Um, Now that I've kind of gotten to what I would believe a better point in my life, I kind of wanted to start tracking that. I think up until 2029, I will be, when I become in 2029, I think I will be 40 or 41. So I kind of want to see what my life has looked up until that point. I do like the way it feels and like the cover. It is in Japanese, which is fine. One day I do want to learn Japanese, but what really got me interested in it was that because the other journal or planner is technically um, bigger, I couldn't use the cover that I wanted to get with it, which was this one. And the only reason why I got this cover, not because of the color, which I do like, they did have another color too for this, but because it says that only is not lonely. And the reason why I got this was because I was going through a lot with my family and friends in terms of like not having them anymore. If you know anything about queer adult estrangement, then you know that like sometimes it's not easy to actually come out and then on top of it get support from your family. But then I was also going through a lot of culling through my friend group. I actually stopped social media up to the point where I just didn't have it anymore. But I did get Instagram back just so I can have it for like my close friends, which aren't that many, but either way, they're still great people. So I wanted to add this to the 5 year journal, um, and carry it with me so I can remember that being by yourself is not being lonely, which you think that's kind of like obvious. Sometimes when you're at your lowest point, it just really isn't. So I can't wait to see what I put in here. Um, I know we're over 10 minutes because I think we're at 10 minutes and 47 seconds, but I do want to do one bonus journal that I kind of liked, in terms of like an example, because of just tracking stuff. But this is my Keith Haring book. It is a collaboration with the lifestyle brand Black, which is spelled BLVCK. But I actually got this because I just liked it because it was black, and then on top of it, I could put in gel. But what I started to do was put things for books I wanted to read, or even like animes I want to watch this year, and then even games I wanted to play. Um, so I'll probably keep up this trend. It was a bullet journal initially, but I was like, well, that's what my planner's for. So like, I decided I'm just gonna like play with that instead of like just tracking like what I want to actually do for the year in terms of like media. I also got this from what is it called? I got this little like tag from AWA, I think last year. So I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. I'll actually use that as like a kind of bookmark. But now that I'm, using my planner more, I'm just going to use this to like track stuff like that. So, hopefully you enjoyed the video. If it was helpful, let me know. If you need more examples, if you want me to do more of a deep dive or something, just let me know in comments, and I'll let you know when I'll come out with something like that. But yeah, hopefully it was helpful. I will see you next time.